Or both.
I got 2 fire questions, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure.
And one of them is about the internet, and one of them is about children.
Sure.
So the one about children is, I've now got 4 kids.
Congratulations.
And I recently pulled them all out of school, and I wanted them to resist the slave mind.
100%.
I didn't want them to be raised by the state.
Yep.
I didn't want them to be brainwashed by the government and brainwashed to be employees.
Yep.
I couldn't stand it. Every time I'd go to parents' evening, even though the schools were good people, I felt the oppressive environment.
Yep.
And I pulled them all out. And now they're home educated.
Amazing.
We've hired a couple full-time teachers. That's
Beautiful.
what I do. What advice would you give? What's the best thing to do with kids? Do you send them to a private, state? For you, it might be different. You got a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got a lot of money.
Yeah.
But for the average entrepreneur who's working maybe in Britain or wherever, how do you get around this issue? Or do you keep them in the school but protest and make like what are you saying about that?
It's very difficult, and the stranglehold they have on the education system is one of the ways they manage to infect so many people's minds with these poisonous ideologies so young. That's the reason I have university.com. We bought that domain now. That's the reason I have my school.
I'd buy that off you, bro.
Worth a lot. I've got university.com. That we offer an alternative to traditional education. So instead of going to high school or college or wasting money on a university degree, for $50 you can join university.com and you'll make money the same month.
Yeah, nice.
As opposed to a 4-year degree or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's extremely difficult. It's not easy to do. My children, I'm in a fortunate scenario, but I've done the same thing as you.
Yeah.
I actually allow the girls to go to school, but they go to like a theater or ballet school. It's more just running around and enjoying themselves. And as long as they do a lot of extracurricular activities, they're happy. The sons, they play chess, they do judo, they do karate, they do boxing. By the time that's all done every day, that's enough education. I believe a man learns enough about life getting his ass kicked and playing chess and having a strict father than he ever will in a shitty school.
Yeah.
The internet teaches everything school used to matter a lot more before the internet. There's not a single person now who needs to know a fact who can't get the phone out of their pocket.
Right.
So what, it's kind of weird. What are they, I kind of wonder, maybe even know more than me, what are kids learning nowadays? Because I remember back to what I used to learn, and I was saying, well, they don't learn those things anymore because all the information is on a phone. You don't need math because the calculator's on your phone. ChatGPT writes everything for you. Like, what are they even learning? I don't know what you're even doing in school.
I know what my kids are learning, but they're home educated.
That's right.
That's the point.
That's right.
It's difficult to know what they're learning.
So what are they learning? Or are they just being socially conditioned to permafail and
watching
repeat propaganda?
That's what
watch
they'll be doing.
adolescence and repeat propaganda. So your children are being psyoped and brainwashed. If I had to give a true answer, if I was an average income family of some sort, I think the most important interpersonal skills that, the social skills that a young man can learn gives him the best possible chance of succeeding in life. If he's likable, if he's confident, if he can stand on a stage and sell, if he's confident within himself, I think that matters a lot more than any fucking garbage you're going to teach him at school. So I think that it's the extracurricular activities and the things he does outside of school that's going to make the man.
Yeah.
Fighting made me. It doesn't have to be fighting, it has to be something. But I think that putting a man through some stress and putting him through some tests and allow him to prove his worth and get him confident, he'll be okay anyway. So I'm not a fan of the traditional education system. I think it's actually a complete scam through and through. I think it failed long ago. I'll give you a simple test. If you're a parent watching this, test something. Next time your kids go to school, when they come home, say, what did you learn today? And you know what the kid will say? Nothing.
Yeah.
That's what they'll say. They'll tell you. And you go, no. Tell me something you learned today. And they'll say, well, I went to math. Okay, that's fine. What did you learn today? Show me the math equation you did. What did you learn today? They can't answer.
Yeah.
The kid can't answer it. So you have days of nothing compounded into one big nothing. So the most important lessons children are learning in school actually come from their friendship groups.
Yeah.
Whether they're getting bullied, whether they're getting picked on, sociodynamics, how to talk to girls. That's what you're learning in school now.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, why don't you just cut out the propaganda and bullshit and put your kid into extracurricular activities? Why don't you put him in a boxing gym? Put him in a debate class, put him in a speaking event. Why don't you do all those things? He still learns to get along with everybody. You get to get rid of all the fucking social bullshit programming they're trying to put into your kid's mind, and you get to have more control over what your child's learning.
That's exactly what we do, bro. Even the girls doing the boxing, and then they're learning the basic maths, English, and whatnot. I think people just need to get wealthy and just need to pull their kids out of school.
Well, this is the thing. If you're a man and you've watched this entire podcast, and you do not take action and either go to my program or Samuel's or any other program, if you do not finish this podcast and decide to do something to make your life better than what it currently is, your love doesn't mean anything for your fucking kids. This is what's so amazing to me about broke people.
Wow.
I love my kids. but you don't love your kids enough to save them from being brainwashed.
Wow.
Because you don't love them enough to get wealthy enough to take them out of that school, which is convincing them to be brainwashed. Your children are walking to school amongst other kids who carry knives. You're risking your kid's life because you can't put them in a better school because you don't want to try hard. So what does your love even mean? As a man, your love only has value if you have capability. When a capable man says, I love you, that matters. When a loser man or a weak man or a lazy man says, I love you, it means nothing because he can't do anything with the love.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you love your kids if they're walking to school amongst fucking killers and being psyoped. Your love is empty. Women know this intrinsically. This is why when a loser says to a girl, I love you so much, she's like, I don't care. Because she knows you can't help her. You can't improve her life. You can't protect her. Yeah. When a winner says, I love you, she feels it.
Yeah.
Women know this intrinsically. So it's amazing to me that men will sit here. They'll ignore all the advice we've given. They'll take some time to leave a comment and say that I'm a bad person or that you're a bad person. And they'll go back to say, well, I love my kids, and not even fucking try hard enough to save their children from eternal slavery. You're allowing your bloodline to be bestowed with parasitic mind virus because you don't want to try. And then you want to sit there and say, oh, but I love my kids. No, you don't. If you're a brokey and you're not trying to escape, you don't even fucking love anybody. You don't even love yourself.
Yeah.
That's the level it's reached now at this point where the world's so fucked. When I see a person of 40 years of age with no money and no drive, and he goes, oh, I really want to make it out. I say, you don't give a shit about your family. You don't give a shit about your last name. You don't give a shit about yourself. You don't give a shit about anybody. You're a fucking scumbag. It's reached that point now. When I see somebody who's not trying, I don't like them. It's not about whether you've made it or not. When I meet people who don't try, I don't even like them. I'm like, what do you mean you're not trying? Oh yeah, I don't like you. Because I'm a trier. We have different life philosophies. We look at the world completely differently. I say the sky is blue, you say the sky is green. I can't get along with you. We can't correlate. Yeah. I'm a trier. You're refusing to try. Your entire worldview, the way you see events, the way you see scenarios is so alien and foreign to me, I can't even see it. We don't speak the same language. You're speaking Uzbek to me. I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
I don't like those people. Because those people, every time I've ever tried to give them a chance, has done nothing but drag me down. I can't drag them up, but they can drag me down. Right. Somehow. Right. I can't get them anywhere, but they manage to anchor me. So I don't like those people. Yeah. So if you're a full-grown man and you're watching this and you do not have the capability to take your entire family and move to Tokyo tomorrow for whatever reason, if you don't have that kind of finance or capability, you take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, what the fuck does my love even mean? Yeah. What kind of man, what kind of head of the family even am I? I can say I love my wife all day long. I can say I love my kids all day long. What does that even mean if I'm not going to finish work and take an extra hour out of my day to try something new to escape the fucking matrix before all of this crumbles? Yeah. Your love means nothing if you don't try.
Damn, bro, that hit deep, man.
But it's true.
It is true, and that's the point. And I think we're in the last cycle. You know, the stuff you're saying now, people will look back on in 20, 30 years to come, and they'll say, man, why didn't more people listen? Why didn't...
When AI becomes prevalent, what's so interesting about AI, people talk about how AI is going to replace people's jobs, etc. I can guess, and it is a guess, but it's quite an educated one, that when AI becomes prevalent, all it's going to do is make the poor poorer and the rich richer. Yeah. Like everything else. Yeah. Everything else that's come along has made the poor poorer and the rich richer. And I think the people who are hardworking and industrious and already have some assets and are already rich and already paying attention and already have access to other smart people who have AI companies are going to become richer than ever before. And the poor people sitting on their fucking ass jerking off are going to be poorer than ever before. Yeah. So the wealth divide is going to increase. Yeah. The gap is going to become insurmountable. Now you can probably jump from one side to the other. It's going to become such a large gap, it's going to be nearly impossible. It's going to be have-nots and have-yots. That's the end of it. That's what's going to happen.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows
even Gary Economics would agree with that. Exactly, 100%.
So you have to get rich now. This is what I don't understand. I lack motivation, but you don't have time. Yeah. You don't have time. You have to get rich now, like today. Yeah. People seem to think they have time. They seem to think that it's going to be fine if they try later or next week or in 1 year or let me save a little bit.
And buy stuff now. Buy assets now. 100%. Because no matter what you say about the UK, and I get it, but people are coming in from Hong Kong, from Dubai.
Of course.
The people in Dubai are dumping money into the UK.
Of course.
So I'm thinking that this is the BlackRock, Lloyd's Bank, billions of pounds.
There's money to be made in fucking Iraq. There's money to be made anywhere. if you're industrious and if you're paying attention. So yeah.
Internet question is this. Internet is going down, in my opinion. I think that they're going to switch the internet off. I think that's going to be the next big... You know, the World Economic Forum predicted the COVID pandemic before it happened. Now they're talking about, it's inevitable that at some point there could be a bug or something. So that's huge.
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen. I think that we need to do a live event, bro.
That would be amazing. That'd be like my first ever one.
We have to do something in Dubai at some point.
Okay.
So watch this space. Me and Andrew are going to be talking about that.
Amazing.
But do you have an opinion on what would happen if they did switch off the internet in terms of being an entrepreneur?
That would be monumental for even not just being an entrepreneur, but for basic societal function. That would be monumental.
Yeah.
And it's certainly not beyond the realms of possibility because the internet is what they fear because they cannot completely control information or ideas because it's the control of information that allow them to keep people in this sleep dream world that keep them paying taxes till they walk into the grave and then their children get robbed of all the money they ever saved with inheritance tax anyway. So yeah, if they turn the internet off, the world's in a lot of trouble. But how do you plan for that? Well, I guess you decentralize. You have assets in lots of places. Lots of hidden Bitcoin, lots of different houses, and know lots of people who are very important and influential. I guess that's the best thing you can do and have absolute self-accountability. But it would be a very difficult and strange world if the internet got turned off. So
I think that's when
kind of scary thought.
It is a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it would have been a scary thought, locking everybody in the house. COVID, that would have been crazy. I think that the next thing is going to be, I think they'll switch off.
Let me blow your mind for a second. If you guys want to lose a lot of faith in humanity, I'll give you something to do.
Oh, great.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
You're not like me. I can't get any more depressed or negative because I'm at the bottom. I'm happy at the bottom, but I'm like at the bottom of the ocean. You know, it's like I'm chill down there. I like it. I've lost faith in everything. Read on Wikipedia about the COVID pandemic. And it makes it sound like zombie apocalypse. Imagine you never lived through the COVID pandemic. You never saw it. And you just read about it. About people being locked in their houses and this many deaths. And this vaccine came out and vaccine deniers stopped people from getting the vaccine, which increased the deaths. And people were dying and emergency hospitals were built in 3 days. And da-da-da. And you're reading about it. It sounds like fucking World War V. It sounds like a complete apocalypse. It sounds like you're imagining it like you imagine those post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
And you're reading it, and I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, I remember COVID. It was perfectly fucking fine.
Yeah.
It was normal. I drove around. Everyone was outside of McDonald's. I didn't even wear a mask. I told everyone to fuck off. It was fine.
Yeah.
But when you read about it, it sounds so scary.
That's interesting.
So imagine all the history we've ever been taught. All these events. All these things we're supposed to know about. All these different versions of reality. All these events. This happened, that happened. All of it's a fucking scam. When you read about COVID, you're going to realize that nothing we even understand about the world is real. And perhaps this is the perfect full circle. How do you predict the future if you don't know the past? Well, I guess you can't. How do you live in the present when all the media and everything around you is nothing but lies and deception? Once again, it's difficult. So the best thing you can do is take absolute self-accountability, blame yourself for everything, and get rich as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah. Andrew, you're a legend.